Welcome once again to another edition of Inside Earlham Cross Country. We're going to talk with the co-coaches coming up in just a couple of moments. They have a huge race coming up. In fact, as of this discussion, they'll be racing on a Friday. We'll talk about that coming up next, right here on Inside Cross Country, Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Built in 1923, Trueblood Fieldhouse received a renovation in 1999 when the Athletics and Wellness Center was added to campus. Named after Edwin P. Trueblood, class of 1885, the fieldhouse served as the home for Quaker indoor athletics and physical education from 1923 to 1999. Today, a multi-purpose floor allows for athletic teams to practice indoors as well as intramural competition to occur. A basketball practice court and indoor golf studio were added in 2016 to allow both Earlham's basketball programs and golf teams to practice on natural surface indoors. A track on the second floor of the facility allows for walking and running.
Hey, I want to remind everyone for the complete coverage of cross-country action, plus the rosters and everything concerning cross-country, make sure you go to the Earlham website, goearlham.com. And, Rob, first off, thanks for being with us. I know that you and Claire both are still very busy with everything going on, just trying to get acclimated and all the things that are happening right now. But you have to get prepared for a pretty big race coming up. Talk a little bit about the preparations leading up to tomorrow's race.
Yeah, thanks for having us today, Troy. Tomorrow we're racing at the Indiana Intercollegiate Meet at IU. So the preparation's been going really well. We've continued to build on what we had done the previous couple weeks, and this will be a good test for us as we see how they're all putting all the pieces together of all the training. So it's a great opportunity for the men and the women.
How has it gone now? Then last time we talked, we're probably close to a couple of weeks ago, and just how everything has progressed for you guys.
It was good. We had what Claire and I believed to see like a really nice fitness jump in the athletes, where it seemed like they're running more effortlessly to run the same paces, or they were achieving faster paces in their workouts than they had a week or two ago, which is really cool. And they've been in the weight room and they've been challenged with some things to run different paces than they have, and the work seems to be accumulating for them in positive ways, and we're seeing them break through, which is really nice.
How does that happen for them? A mindset that they have from either a previous coach or their high school coach, how difficult is that to break them from that to get into your type of system?
Well, I don't know if we're more trying to challenge them than necessarily break them.
Okay.
The idea would be, to continue to link everything back to the race. Okay. So mentally and physically challenging them mentally to say, like, how is this going to challenge us in the race? What questions are we going to have to ask and answer in the workout that will help us in the race? And so there's a lot of things we've done in the workouts which have proved pretty valuable for them, in addition to challenging them with paces that we think will make the race, an achievable thing.
I guess maybe I should have rephrased that. Do they have some bad habits or anything that you have to get them out of? Or
every runner has bad habits. Every coach has bad habits. Every person has bad habits. So, yeah, I mean, there are obviously things that we're trying to do. It really is a bias of the athlete, whether they think that they're a strength runner or a speed runner. Like, what do we have to do to challenge them to see the complete picture? So we've got some kids that really rely on their strength out there, and we've been challenging them to do things a little bit quicker and to get out of their comfort zone in that respect. And we've got some kids who really love to rely on the shorter, faster half-mile type.
Okay.
But we need you to add up to the whole and be a part of the five, so we're going to challenge you with some strength things that are appropriate to them. So it's been an interesting go at things,
Yeah.
but they've taken to the challenge really well, which is awesome.
I'm going to have Rob talk a little bit about the men this time, and just to give us an idea. We didn't really get a chance to drop some names of some of your athletes and those that will be competing. Talk about them and certainly what they have done so far that have made you happy about their progress.
Yeah, so the men's team were led by Gabe Penk, who's a senior. He just got second place at the IU East race that we had in the 5K. So, he's looking really fit. He ran about 16 and change for 5,000 meters, which is pretty cool. And, we're looking for him to lead the team and do it in his way. Our second and third runners, we've got Daniel Kibbett and Oliver Daniel, who's a freshman, and the young man's a sophomore.
Okay.
Daniel is. And, those two guys are giving us a really good 2-3 punch, which is pretty awesome. And hopefully they'll be floating around the 27s, low 28 range. And then our 4-5 seems to be a mix of 3 men, which will have either Brandon McClendon, Jacob Harris, or Jacob Kempinski in there. And then there's a freshman, Ernesto Cabrera, who seems to be kind of really gaining some steam and momentum. And we could see him factor into the 4-5 as well. So we've got an interesting 7 in that respect.
Little competition there, huh?
Yes.
Yeah,
which is
love
good.
to see that every week.
Yeah.
We'll tell you what we'll do. We'll come back. We'll talk with Claire about the women in a couple of moments as we continue right here on Inside Cross Country and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
The Drewley Performance Gymnasium, dedicated on February 6 of 2016, is home to Schuckman Court and the Earlham men's basketball, women's basketball, and volleyball teams. Built to seat 1,800 fans, the facility features a full-length basketball court with locker rooms for home and visiting teams. Schuckman Court is painted with volleyball lines and can also support 2 basketball courts for intramural play. An observation room above allows for video streaming and media members to view the game from above. 2 storage areas are located in either corner of the facility, with a concession stand located just outside the main entrance.
Back once again on Inside Cross Country. Claire joining us here. We're going to talk a little bit about the women's side as well. And I always enjoy, I'm not much of a runner myself. I mean, I kind of run like a cow anyway, but I have such respect for cross-country runners, because especially if it's a hilly course and it can be pretty challenging. From a mental side, how do you help your athletes get through some of those if they're maybe more of a flat pancake course runner and they like not having the hills and stuff? How do you get over the mental side of things?
Well, certainly they're in the right place. NCAA cross country has moved towards a much more flat scheme than the sort of classic traditional cross country, but we still have a great mix, and the course here on campus has it all. Really, it's in the workouts and it's in the everyday. It's Rab said a few things about challenging them in workouts and asking questions and answering questions. So it's about putting them in those situations where they're going to come up against those challenges, those demons, whatever it is. I would say, in the moment of a race, when you're out there and you're hurting and you just have to figure it out, is not the moment you're going to have a brilliant epiphany. It's not. Right. It's that's the place where you need to have done it so many times that it's just a reaction.
Right.
And you're not thinking about it. So.
Yeah. I wish I had that mindset. It's not easy though, is it? When you just feel like maybe you don't have a whole lot left to give, and you got to, like you said, you got to figure it out yourself, don't you?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it really is just about doing it so many times that you're not thinking about it. It's just a reaction, and you just obviously you have to have something in your pocket, right? You have to be able to remind yourself why you work that hard. Yeah. And sometimes it's just being able to remind yourself that you've worked that hard. Right. And sort of saying like, no, I've worked for this. Remember all those runs I did. Remember all those workouts I did. This isn't. I can't fold now. Yeah. It's not just about today. Yeah. And the beautiful thing about cross country is even sometimes more than you feel it in the track. You're out there with a team, and your number counts, and there are 5 or 7 or 12 other people counting on you for what you're bringing, and that can be one of the most powerful things about our sport this season.
Do you like what you see right now as far as and I asked Rob about the progression of the men, talk about the women and how you've seen their progression here in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean, it's been phenomenal. We're hitting about a month of running with them, and that can be really like a great moment that, the first couple of weeks they're learning a ton and they're starting to work, and at about 2 weeks it gets real tiring. It starts to add up, and then, as you push through it, your body adapts. And so they're starting to, I think, see that sort of full adaptation from the work that we've done in this first sort of month phase of training. And so we had a workout this week where they could literally see it. We could see it with our eyes, just said, they look faster. Yeah. And then you could see it on paper, when you compare it to what we did a couple weeks ago, something that was very similar, if not identical, in terms of the work. And they're really at a whole other level, almost across the board.
Wow, that is great.
So it's good. We're excited. We're really excited for tomorrow.
You seem excited too. I mean, I can tell that, and you should be. And when you're putting that kind of work in as a head coach, you're seeing those rewards now and more to come. All right, now, before we talk about this weekend and also just a little bit about what you're expecting. Drop some names. We didn't get a chance to talk about your runners. Let's talk about the female side of the running that you'll be doing this week, or some of the athletes we'll be watching for.
Sure. So we've had really a gift in an athlete who ran track before, but hasn't run cross country. So this is her first season out, and she came in with a little hesitation about racing some, but I think she's blown herself away as much as she's blown us away. Rachel Wilkins, is running with us now. So she was our top runner at IU East, and we're gonna send her out as our sort of lead wolf tomorrow. And then we have a really good pack. So we have another 4 who have been able to work together and race together. And Kellen Steele, Lauren Cole, who's a freshman, Tori Trezona, and Mia Kaplan. Would be sort of our next pack. And coming out of the first race, actually the sort of overwhelming reaction of the team was, wow, it was awesome to run together. So being able to use that, probably a couple more separate packs, but Rachel out with some of the race, and then that pack moving together is really what we're looking for tomorrow.
Wow. Okay, it's going to be competitive, and you're going to see a lot of good runners. What are you expecting?
I really think we could get top 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So last year we didn't score as a team. They didn't field a full team, so they probably had 4 runners. And the men finished the back. And I think, and 10th is depending on who is there tomorrow. But as of last year, it would have been right in the middle.
Okay.
Essentially the pack, and so I think top 10 is a good goal. It's certainly not an easy goal, right? They're gonna have to work for it. But what we've seen and looking at what the race has done in the past, I think it's really something we could do.
Will the course benefit you guys?
I haven't a clue.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of curious because when you said that a lot of the colleges now are going away from the traditional, I'm kind of sorry to hear that. I like the
hay bales and creeks. And
that's what cross country is about,
Getting dirty.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Well, Claire, thank you very much. Good luck this weekend. We'll visit again. Okay.
All right, thanks for having
Want to remind everyone, check out the Earlham website, goearlham.com, for all the latest sports information concerning Earlham Cross Country, and we'll see you next time right here on Inside Cross Country, right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.